Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. It's very, very rare that we get these moments. Often I'll refer to the vote blue no matter who crowd, the typical Rachel Maddow viewer, MSNBC absorber, otherwise known as the NPC. We refer to these people a lot, but very rarely do we get an actual real-world example out in the wild caught on video. I mean, this is one for the science books, folks. Obviously, you could tell I'm just playing around a little bit, but there's this very interesting video of a Blue Anon New Yorker who suffers a serious brain malfunction when asked a very simple question, or after making a statement, and when being asked to clarify that statement. The question that I'm always stuck asking is, as a human being, or specifically as an honest human being, how can you issue such bold statements with a complete inability to back it up? Well, that's exactly what we see from leftists all the time. I mean, it's frankly astonishing. Donald Trump is a criminal. It's been proven countless times he should be in jail. He belongs in jail. A simple question is asked, well, sir or ma'am, or I guess in 2022, Z or Zer, what do you mean by that? What crime and what proof? And of course, the reaction is basically always something like this. Drawing blanks. They know that they're pushing BS talking points, yet they still say the words, they still make these statements, and they almost always end up looking like fools. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, and then let's just discuss the phenomenon because it's truly an interesting one. We got some stuff to get into, folks, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so without further ado, here is the clip. I present to you your typical Rachel Maddow viewer, Blue Anon New Yorker.
Is this unprecedented to arrest a former president for not turning in documents?
A former president that had committed this many provable criminal acts.
But what are the provable criminal acts, I guess?
Provable criminal acts. Well, I'm done talking.
I mean, you know that your beliefs are total BS if your entire worldview, if your entire stance gets absolutely decimated, obliterated by a simple question, a single question. I mean, this stuff is completely nuts. It's the same kind of thing that we see with these communist revolutionary college students. Well, how are you gonna pay for it? If you end capitalism, where's the money gonna come from? And their entire worldview just collapses in real time, and they very quickly turn on Antifa mode or just run away from the camera. But this is the same thing. I mean, this is basically that college communist revolutionary grown up but never having intellectually matured or developed. Donald Trump and all of his provable crimes, I mean, the evidence. All right, sir, well, what evidence exactly are you referring to?
Provable criminal acts, I guess.
Provable criminal acts. Well, I'm done talking.
I'm done talking. You know exactly what happened here, right? These left-wing New Yorkers, when they see the media, instantly they're probably under the impression that, well, this media individual or this journalist must be my friend because all journalists are left-wing. This is going to be a ride in the park, a piece of cake. They're just going to confirm my worldview and ask me easy questions. And the moment you ask them a serious question, the whole thing falls apart. I'm done talking. And the dude just walks away. How can you have this kind of belief? It's so frustrating for me when it comes to leftists. It's what I'm always talking about. These people don't realize how dangerous what they're doing is. I mean, this Blue Anon mind virus. Do you not realize that you are essentially proving to everyone that you have absolutely not a care in the world for legal due process and for providing evidence for people to be jailed, and you are advocating for the state to be powerful enough to jail your political opponents? I mean, that should be the definition of a slippery slope. That is exactly what the left stands for these days. And when you really put it into perspective, when it comes to their social policies and their law enforcement policies, they do nothing but defend criminals through most of their activism while actively encouraging the incarceration of their political opponents with a total lack of evidence. And not just a lack of evidence, zero evidence, the lack of any evidence whatsoever, no proof of any crime. Yet they can sit there in front of a camera and say, Donald Trump should go to jail, without the ability to even justify it with a single point. He should go to jail because, and it ends there. Because what? You don't like his orange skin or his mean tweets? You don't like the fact that he wasn't happy about a particular election? Well, based on that judgment, Stacey Abrams and Hillary Clinton and Al Gore should all be in jail, as well as every other Democrat like Jamie Raskins and the rest of them who have challenged certifying elections since the year 2000. There is no justification here other than pure partisan hysteria and rage. It's, I don't like Trump, therefore I want to ruin him, ruin his life, put him in jail. And that's what I mean when I'm trying to describe how dangerous this attitude is. I mean, this is the type of authoritarian attitude that you see in places like the Soviet Union and frankly the start of communism in general across history. This rage at the upper class and the wealthy and the rich that leads to the vilification and the unjust arrest of individuals, and in many cases, the public execution of people based purely on ideological reasoning. It's almost like it's a violent religion or violent cult that wants to get rid of non-believers or people who challenge their power by force. It's so incredibly dangerous. And I know the left-wing argument on the other side is going to be, well, what about Republicans who chant at Trump rallies, lock her up in relation to Hillary Clinton? Well, let's take that same question that was asked this Blue Anon New Yorker individual on the street and ask it. What provable crimes did Hillary Clinton commit? What about her funneling classified information to her private email server, bleach bidding and smashing hard drives and phones, destruction and tampering with evidence? What about the fact that her campaign is the main target of the John Durham investigation, and that her name and her campaign was specifically identified in UK court documents as being the group that funded the salacious, slanderous Steele dossier that was used to get a phony, illegal FISA warrant to spy on the Trump campaign in order to gather dirt on him to unseat a duly elected president? What about that? And what about Hunter Biden, who's filmed his various crimes across the world, and whose emails show him involving his then vice president father in his business dealings, making millions upon millions of dollars peddling Washington influence to foreign oligarchs and foreign powers? What about the fact that he drove a Hertz rental car completely intoxicated, dropping it off, I believe, in Nevada, but I may be wrong, leaving his license and illegal substances in the car and paraphernalia? Or the fact that he illegally disposed of a firearm, committing a serious firearms violation? Are those examples not evidence of legitimate crimes? You see, you ask the question to somebody who's paying attention on the right side, somebody who maybe believes that not necessarily that these individuals belong in jail, but at least that they should be investigated effectively and honestly to get to the bottom of these many questions. You ask them, what evidence and what proof do you have? And the evidence is very easy to list. I mean, it's a pretty long list. But with Donald Trump, these leftoids are calling for him to be arrested, and not only him to be arrested, but his sons and Jared Kushner and Mark Meadows and so many people around him. They're not calling for investigations. I mean, they have their investigations. Their investigations have led to absolutely nothing, to the point where now they're raiding his home because I guess their last-ditch effort is a records violation. How utterly ridiculous. Especially when the top brass of the National Archives and Records Administration recently stated that Donald Trump had actually sent them 15 boxes of documents already and was fully cooperating with them. You've had all your investigations. You've launched everything to get this guy. Nothing of substance has been produced. There's been nothing burger after nothing burger. And these out-of-control authoritarian Blue Anon leftists are still calling to imprison him and his family members and top staffers. This is some sort of experiment in mind control. I mean, it's so ridiculous. There's some sort of mass psychosis that's infected the mind of so many left-leaning voters, and it's truly, I mean, seriously dangerous. But that, of course, is just my opinion. And that's also the video, just a little glimpse into the mind of the Blue Anon voter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and possibly subscribe if you feel like it. I'm gonna get back to work though. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.